It was a dark and stormy night as John made his way to his new job at the local convenience store. He had taken the night shift to help pay for his college tuition, but he couldn't help feeling uneasy as he walked into the store. The dim lighting and eerie silence made his skin crawl, but he brushed it off and started his shift. As the night went on, John couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched. Every time he turned around, he saw nothing but the empty aisles and rows of shelves. But then, he heard a faint whisper coming from one of the aisles. At first, he thought it was just the wind or his imagination, but the whispering grew louder and more persistent. John decided to investigate, and slowly made his way down the aisle. The whispers were getting louder and he could now hear what they were saying. It was a strange, foreign language that he couldn't understand. Suddenly, he saw a figure emerge from the shadows, shrouded in a black cloak. John froze in terror as the figure slowly approached him. Its face was covered by a hood, and all he could see were two glowing red eyes staring back at him. John tried to scream, but his voice was caught in his throat. The figure spoke in a low, menacing voice, "I have been waiting for you, John. Your soul belongs to me." John tried to run, but the figure was too quick. It grabbed him by the arm and dragged him deeper into the store. John was powerless to resist as the figure led him to a hidden room in the back of the store. Inside the room, John saw something that made his blood run cold. There were dozens of people, all chained to the walls, their eyes hollow and lifeless. The figure turned to John and spoke again, "You will join them, John. Your soul will be mine forever." John tried to fight back, but the figure was too strong. He was chained to the wall alongside the other victims, doomed to spend the rest of eternity in that dark, hidden room. The next morning, the store owner found the store in disarray and John missing. The police searched the store, but found no evidence of foul play. John was never seen again, and the store was closed down shortly after. Some say that the figure still haunts the store to this day, waiting for its next victim to come on the night shift. Years went by and the abandoned convenience store became a local legend. People whispered about the strange happenings that took place on the night shift, and nobody dared to step foot inside the building. But one night, a group of teenagers dared each other to explore the abandoned store. They had heard the stories, but they didn't believe in ghosts. As they made their way inside, they couldn't help but feel a sense of unease. The darkness and silence made them feel like they were being watched. As they wandered through the aisles, they heard a faint whispering coming from the back of the store. The whispers grew louder and more persistent, and suddenly the figure emerged from the shadows. The teenagers screamed and tried to run, but the figure was too quick. The figure dragged them to the hidden room in the back of the store, and the teenagers were horrified by what they saw. Dozens of people, chained to the walls, their eyes lifeless and hollow. The figure turned to them and spoke in a low, menacing voice, "Your souls belong to me." The teenagers fought back, but the figure was too strong. They were chained to the walls, doomed to spend the rest of eternity in that dark, hidden room. Years went by, and more people fell victim to the figure on the night shift. The legend of the haunted convenience store grew, and people avoided the building at all costs. But deep down, they knew that the figure was still there, waiting for its next victim to come on the night shift. The figure had become a monster, a creature of the night that preyed on those who dared to work the night shift. And as long as the store remained standing, the figure would continue to haunt its halls, waiting for its next victim. But one day, a brave team of ghost hunters decided to investigate the haunted convenience store. They had heard the legends, but they were determined to uncover the truth. As they made their way through the aisles, they heard the faint whispers coming from the back of the store. The ghost hunters cautiously approached the hidden room and peered inside. They were horrified by what they saw. Dozens of people, chained to the walls, their eyes lifeless and hollow. And in the center of the room stood the figure, shrouded in a black cloak and glowing red eyes. The ghost hunters knew that they had to act fast. They quickly set up their equipment and began to perform a ritual to banish the figure back to the other side. The room shook and the figure let out a blood-curdling scream, but the ghost hunters persisted. Finally, the figure was banished back to the other side, and the victims were freed from their chains. The ghost hunters quickly exited the store and called the police to report what they had found. The authorities arrived and searched the store. They found evidence of a long, forgotten cult that had been performing dark rituals in the hidden room. They also found a journal belonging to the cult leader, detailing their plans to sacrifice innocent souls to their dark lord. The convenience store was finally closed down for good, and the victims were given proper burials. The ghost hunters became local heroes, and their bravery was celebrated throughout the town. But even to this day, some say that they can still hear the faint whispers coming from the abandoned convenience store on the night shift. The ghost hunters had banished the figure, but the darkness that had taken root in the building would never truly be gone.